No, I don't. Yeah, I think if there is a heaven, you've got to bang in heaven, haven't you?
Yeah. I think heaven is if there is a heaven, I think it's whatever your idea of heaven is.
Yeah. As we've said it before, my idea of heaven gets me thrown out of heaven.
Why?
Because there's bare big titty flapping in my face. Do you know what I'm saying?
God
God loves a motorboat.
Yeah,
God
he knows the score.
God's actually sound. Do you know what I mean?
That's the most scouse thing ever. If you'd like to study philosophy and theology at the University of Liverpool, no, lads. Hey, God is sound. He's all right. He invented Gary's, didn't he?
He did.
He invented man who invented Gary's. So fucking get on it, lad.
How do we all know? Right. Because God, as far as we know, God wrote the Bible or told people to write it.
No.
He inspired it, didn't he?
He didn't write the Bible.
He inspired it. He inspired other people to write it. Divine inspiration.
Sort of.
How do we know that wasn't the devil, right?
Oh my God.
And he's like made everyone be like, there's these rules and that. God just made us all, was like, yeah, you'll all want to fuck each other. Have some fucking limo and that. There you go. On Earth, there's loads of trees. No,
I'd love
have
it.
a good time there.
How
right?
good with it.
Right? And he's like, yeah, I'm done. I'm fucking out. I don't even need to keep an eye on you.
Where does the devil come in?
What?
Where does the devil come into this?
The devil is God's brother, and he's fuming because God robbed his idea to make a sick gaff like the Earth. And the devil's like, nah, I'm fucking ruined. I'm going to make them all think that if they do everything God said is sound, that they'll end up in hell with me. But that's not true. God's just sweet. God's just stoned as fuck. Just he's forgot about us because time works differently for him. So like the millions of years there's been since he made it, he's just been like, yeah, I'll put dinosaurs there for the bear, and then it'll blow up and it'll lead to humans and that. And he's just having a little spliff. he's sat on a beanbag chair and he's just like, oh, how sound am I? I made that sick gaff for all them humans. They're having a fucking boss time now. They've got ale. They've got fucking
boobs.
They've got, they've, Curb Your Enthusiasm, good sitcom. They're like, that film's are good. There's, I've boxed them off there. I've inspired all of it. Chocolatey Clairs, Smarties. He's just like, oh.
Is this your list of things that God gave us? Curb Your Enthusiasm and Smarties.
It's like Toy Story 2.
No, right. What God did, right? He gave us your dinosaurs, and then he left us alone and forgot about us. But he did write a subclause in Toy Story 2, Smarties, and Curb Your Enthusiasm.
No, he didn't. He hasn't forgot about us. But like, he's just like, they'll be sound. But that amount of time, although it's like millions of years to us, it feels like it's been about half an hour to him.
Yeah.
So he's just watched like one episode of Emmerdale, and
always with Emmerdale. My nana banging.
He's watched one episode of Emmerdale, and like it's coming to the end now, and he's like, fucking Zach Dingle, brat him. And now he's going to come back in a bit, and he's going to look and be like, what the fuck's going on here? And then he'll be fuming with the devil, and then he'll come in the sky god, and he'll be like, listen, all these rules and that, nothing to do with me, mate. And then it'll rain Garys, and he'll just be like, oh, get off get off your tits.
Is that the rapture?
What?
Is that the rapture? Rain
Garys. The scouse rapture. It's gone fucking proper moody up there. Fucking hell, it's fucking raining Garys.
You'll be like, this idea you've got that when you die, it's shit.
And then you'll look up and you'll see my nana banging everyone in heaven like, Nana? Now the drugs don't work.
Yeah.
Imagine if God was a scouser.
Fucking listen. God is defo a scouser. There's absolutely no way God is a scouser. That's why we nicknamed it Robbie Fowler.
Okay. And that
There's
is
no
the
way
first
that God isn't a
semester
scouser.
of theology at Liverpool University. God is a scouser. God, if he exists, or she exists, Adam, or they exist, because God is quite
There's
likely
no way it's a woman, because then he wouldn't have left us alone.
It's whatever you see, innit?
What?
It's you. He's a manifestation of whatever you want him to be.
No, I think he's a fella. Like, I think he's just a normal guy.
No,
but
if you're going to get to heaven, if there is a God,
yeah,
and it's going to look different to everyone, it might look similar to you two.
No.
And I honestly think Alfie Brown had a point a few Patreon episodes ago about
not human.
Morgan Freeman.
Like he's a helicopter or something.
Your God,
no.
Honestly, Carl, you sound like the voice of reason so fucking much on this podcast, but you sounded like a special kid that he's trying to steal from at the range.
I've had my first Lucozade in 19 months. I'm not even messing.
My God is a helicopter. You know fucking Harold from Thomas the Tank Engine? That.
I reckon God is just like he's if there's a God, he's a humanoid type thing, but he's just like, he's on it.
Well summed up.
He's just on it, and he knows how to do stuff, and and he made this as like a big party house for us, and then the devil had a little whisper and was like, hey, I'm God, mate, don't be fucking shagging each other before you're married and that. And God's not asked. God's just like, shag who you want.
Knows the score,
Yeah.
I think some of God's representatives on earth would argue with some of the points
They've
you
all
made.
been tricked. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world that he wasn't God.
All right. Pacino's films. What? Yeah.
That's not a Pacino film.
Is it
It's
not?
The Usual
It's The Usual
Suspects.
Suspects.
Oh, shit.
And like
Kind of
that.
so-say.
Exactly. I'm talking about weed. Listen to the quote. See, they leave clues everywhere like that. He's gone.
That's how you smoke weed. Have you smoked weed in the toilet in the break? Because this is like the chats
I haven't
we had.
smoked weed for about 5 years.
Honestly, when we were getting wrecked for the first time, we were about 18. These are the fucking chats we had.
These are the talks we always have.
And now I'm paying my mortgage with them.
I swear to God, I think if God's real, he's actually dead sound.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that speech, it's all in that the devil's advocate speech that I imitate sometimes. He's right, isn't he? The devil's right. He gives man instincts. And then what does he do? He sets the rules in opposition. Look, but don't touch. Touch, but don't taste.
P.S.
Taste.
Those rules were not
Don't
set
swallow.
out by God. They were set out by the people who purport to represent him.
No, they
And
were set out by the devil through
The
Peter,
Pope-
Paul, and Jesus.
The
Jesus
Pope,
is a rat as well.
priests, all bishops, they represent God. They speak for God as much as the head of the Elvis fan club speaks for Elvis. They don't speak for God, do they? They represent people who believe in God, but they don't actually speak for God. My miles off here. They've gone, I'm the Pope and I speak to God. You don't know.
Yeah, but aren't the is it omnipotent or
I reckon
omniscient?
Jesus was in.
God is, yeah.
I reckon Jesus was one of the devil's boys.
Isn't the Pope omniscient?
No, he's just a bloke, mate, in a big frock.
No, I don't believe in it, but I'm saying he says he's omnipotent and omniscient.
He's not
No,
all
no, no.
powerful and all loving, is he?
No, he's just got
all knowing.
He's got God's WhatsApp.
Oh.
Yeah. He's got him on speed dial.
But I reckon Jesus.
The church are like on God's Patreon,
Yeah.
or everyone else is just
They
like,
get everything.
yeah,
Yeah,
public
But I reckon
episodes.
Jesus was one of the devil's boys. Look at him. He looks like a goth. Tell me I'm wrong.
That was nearly
Jesus
that
looks
was
like-
nearly as bad as God is a helicopter. That
Jesus a goth. Jesus looks like a goth, doesn't he? If Jesus, like, because they paint him in fucking white and that, put a long leather coat on Jesus, and he looks like a Satanist.
we're piss testing you.
Jesus looks like he hangs around the courts in the city centre. Jesus has got a skateboard.
Loves Monster.
Yeah. Jesus drinks Monster by the fucking gallon, mate.
Relentless Monster.
Yeah.
Relentless monster.
Both of them. Relentless Monster and it's another goth one, isn't it?
Rockstar.
Rockstar, yeah.
Jesus' entire Spotify playlist is My Chemical Romance.
And he skateboards.
But like the early stuff before Black Parade. And I'm not judging. Be a goth all you want. Goth lives matter. But he is a goth.
So, would you rather then? Oh God.